if you're thinking, what the hell is this guy doing with these Army men? So today I have an interesting project. I have a bird with a broken wing. And this wing has been broken for quite some time, but I have repaired it a couple of times and broken it a couple of more times. The current issue is that the thing won't fly. It takes off and then it banks. I've been having problems with the thing since my last repair, but I think what I did is I angled it wrong when I glued it, and I had to reinforce it too, which is what this stuff is for. Another issue that I'm a little bit concerned about is the plastic glue that I used. I don't think I have the same glue that I initially, well, the first couple of repairs, the glue was shit. So I'm hoping that one of these glues I have is going to be strong enough. I don't think either one of them is the one that I had on there before, which worked like a charm. I just glued it in the wrong position. So in other words, the arm was angled wrongly, so it was, I think it was tilted down and out, and anyway, but my intention today is to re-glue it, hopefully get this thing flying again so I don't have to spend several $100 on a new drone. I don't use a drone that much, but I really enjoy the shots that I get with them, the 10%, 5% of the time that I actually fly my drone. I really enjoy those shots that I get with it, and I think maybe a few of you guys that watch maybe enjoy it too. But the attempt today is going to be to get it an initial glue and then throw some reinforcement on top of it and let that set up and see if that'll work. The big problem that I'm seeing is there's some vibration in this arm and the motor, and I'm not sure if that's got to do, it doesn't appear to be the glue job that I had. It appears to be something else, but I don't know. Maybe it's time for a new drone. I don't know. I almost pulled the trigger on another drone. The drone I really want is about $1,000, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for that kind of investment for the limited amount of flying that I do. I don't know that I can justify it, but anyway, that's the plan today. I'm going to check out a couple of glues real quick and see which one I'm going to think is going to hold better. Alright, so I did find another Army guy with a similar platform. This guy doesn't have the same ridges in here, but he's ready to go. And you may be asking yourself, and I really want to know, in the comments, please leave me a comment. If you're thinking, what the hell is this guy doing with these Army men? It's probably been, let's see, I probably stopped playing with toys 10, 11, 12, something like that. Well, I don't know, maybe I was older than that. But Army men, I think I was probably less than 10 when I had my last Army men. I got these from my niece. And I hope she doesn't see this video because I had to beg and plead. And there's toys that she was down in the basement she hadn't played with in years probably. I don't know that she's ever played with Army men. Somebody got these at a yard sale, and I was like, you don't use these. Let me use these. And she's like, oh no, they're mine. Like a typical, 5, 6-year-old. Oh. But now she sees me destroying. I tell you what, I saw it on a movie or something the other day. We used to set Army men on fire. We'd set them on fire and watch them drip napalm, basically. But I saw somebody else recreated that, and I thought, oh, that is so great. Somebody else did the same thing that I did when I was a kid. I just thought that was the greatest thing ever. So, if these things break apart really easily, I'm going to know that this is the wrong glue. I'll just go buy me some more glue. I don't want to waste my time and have to clean up. That's what I spent the morning doing so far, is cleaning up the old repair. the repair that is now defective. But if this doesn't hold, you know, it's not going to hold. It's not going to hold on a joint like this either, even if it's reinforced. And you can see some of the old reinforcement there. That's basically that wire. I had to wrap it. You know, put a thin coat on there, and then I wrapped it. Laid some reinforcing copper wire in there, which is not the best, but it's what I had at the time, and that's what I'm going to use again today, hopefully, if I can find the right glue. Well, let's give that a few minutes, see how that works. I think I'm going to just go ahead with the thin stuff. Well, geez, yeah, that's the stuff that's not curing very quickly, so I think I'm going to skip that for now. That's this stuff, and you can see it's still pretty plastic. It may actually stick better long term, I don't know. Wow, it's like a rubber. Yeah, I may finish it off with that if this stuff is weak, but it seems pretty hard. The only question I got about it is it sticky enough? So my plan right now to mix up another batch of this stuff, and then what I think what I'm going to do is just put a thin coat on here and plant these guys, embed these guys, a few of these strands into the glue, and get it as straight as I can right here. And come back later and lay a thicker coat on here and lay these wires down in longer so I get more support out of it. That's the plan right now. But let me go get some tape to hold these legs up. I think what I'm going to do is tape this leg down to the table and then move this in and maybe lay some other tape underneath here to keep this a little bit rigid, semi-rigid. And I'm using duct tape. It's pretty funny, I was watching Peter McKinnon. I don't know if any of you guys are into photography, or I think he does a little bit of drone stuff too. He rigged up something, just some cheap get-up the other day. Oh, I was wrapping a box. He was wrapping a box, and he wrapped it in gaffer's tape, which duct tape is overkill, but gaffer's tape is duct tape without the smearing. It's basically duct tape. It's as sticky and strong, and you can hold stuff together with it, but it doesn't leave the residue when you pull it off, especially when it gets hot. So it's really, really expensive. Gaffer's tape is crazy. It's probably the most expensive tape on the planet. But he wrapped this whole box. I can't remember. He was doing. Oh, that's what it was. He was sending back a lens to one of his buddies. He borrowed a lens. Anyway, this whole drawn out thing was all about surprising his buddy with this lens. And anyway, the whole time he's doing it, I'm like, gaffer's tape, my God, are you crazy, or you just got so much money you're just stupid with it? And that's the buddy that he sent the lens to said the exact same thing. And I thought that's great. I have, you know, I'm not the only reasonable person on planet Earth. You know, sometimes I think I call myself cheap because I'm like, no, like I'm fixing this, what's basically a $400 drone rather than buying a new one, and I fixed it multiple times because I'm a cheap bastard. It's been working fine up until last couple of flights. The last flight before I left Hawaii, it failed. And I'm not sure exactly why, because it did not appear that anything had come undone. But anyway, I'll link that Peter McKinnon video down below if you're interested. Yeah, this is actually, they have duct tape, which is what HVAC guys use to wrap ducts, heating and cooling ducts. They use that tape. That's what it's been traditionally used for. So it's called duct tape. They also have a brand called duck tape, which I thought was pretty interesting. Alright, still, why am I having such a hard time with this? I had a really hard time with it the last repair I did, which is why, I'm pretty sure that that's why it was so crooked, is because it's very difficult to tape this thing on. Alright, so I'm going to embed some, I'm going to lay some juice on there, try not to get it over here, and see if we can get this thing started at least. I remember having a hard time doing this. Well, the last time I did it, you know, I'm in the middle of the woods. The last time I did this, I was in Utah. No, wait a minute. I was on my way to, golly, I don't even remember. No, I was in Utah. I was in Utah. I was in the desert of Utah. Yeah, so I just decided that maybe I would start uploading a little bit more frequently, and maybe put less thought and effort into it. like like that's a possibility. Less thought and effort into my videos. Well, anyway, this is from somebody that's I would consider very successful, and you know she does comedy stuff. And I would say maybe a lot of it is not my taste in comedy, but she's doing it, and she's doing it consistently, which, you know, I think there's a lot to be said about that. Even if it's not the best, even if it's not, you know, it's not Dave Chappelle, but she's doing it. So, you know, there's a lot to be said about that. So I just decided, okay, well, let me see. I think I could probably put out 3 videos a week, but, you know, the only way to actually find out is to try, right? See what we got here. Hopefully we can twist this just a little bit. Yeah, looks good so far. Let's undo the tape. See how much travel. If I can get the tape off of here without snapping this thing. Yeah, so far so good. It's looking really good. It's a whole lot nicer than the last repair I did. Oh yeah, wow. Night and day. I think it's not quite twisted enough. I think I'm gonna have to put some twist in there. Wow. Okay, so yeah, let me put a little bit of twist in there. Well, it really hasn't had time to dry, but I've realized a pretty serious, when I started fooling around with the arm a little bit, you can see that this bottom side here isn't covered at all. So I think what I'm going to do is trim a little bit of this off and put some more wire bracing in there. Maybe that'll stiffen it up a little bit, maybe run it around the edge here. I don't know, I gotta do something pretty drastic. There's another spot down here on the inside I can put some goop some glue on, so we'll try that. Let me go get a knife or something to clean some of this stuff up off the bottom. Alright, so got a couple tools here for trimming some of this glue off. Got my X-Acto knife, because situation like this, you got to be X-Acto. Can't be kinda so. Got to be so X-Acto. duct tape. Duct tape. Duct tape. Well, you know what? I think I may wrap this thing around there before. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap this around here before I get started. Exactly what I'm going to do. Yep, you kind of see what I'm doing here. Giving this thing a little bit of support. Don't think it's really going to affect the aerodynamics much, but maybe I can build up a good amount of glue on there. Give that a little bit of structure. You can see a little bit, it's going right across that crack, so maybe that's exactly what I need to be doing right there. We'll see. We'll put the first, well, I've got a little bit of glue on here. That will affect the aerodynamics. And it could be a situation of these blades, but the arm that's vibrating the most is this one. And this one's got the best blades on it as far as I can tell. Okay, maybe I need to order some new blades. Maybe that'll help. A little gobble do ya. Gob some more on top of here. 'Cause why not? Actually, this is still, at this point, it's still better than it was last time. And that's really sad to think there was that much glue just hanging off in a big ball on the top side. Let me see if I can get a little bit more. I'm gonna stay away from that joint, but other than that, can't be any worse. I just got to keep telling myself it can't be any worse than it was, which is pretty much true. Give that a few minutes. We're going to be flying this thing today. May not be flying very far, but flying nonetheless. All right, it's been about an hour, and I feel pretty good about how much glue I've gotten on here. Hopefully most of the flex has gone away, and it has, certainly has. It's much better. So I think at this point, before I go any further, make sure that this is wow, yeah, that's a much better fit too. So I'm going to call that pretty rigid. I'm sure it's not fully cured, but appears to be sticking pretty well. I say let's make a flight out of this. See what happens. Let me get another bit of honey and my phone so I can fly this bitch, maybe. So what I'm expecting is this thing to take off and then fall over like it has been doing. Anything better than that, if it takes off and hovers at all, I will be very excited, but I'm not holding my breath. I say the biggest thing now is the arm is, for some reason, it's not as far forward as the other one, so that's going to affect it some too. So we'll see. Maybe the last time it takes off. Yeah, so it didn't go straight over like it did last time, but yeah, I think there's something else going on here. It could be the rotors. It could be the blades. Maybe I'll order some blades, because it's not going over the same way it was. It was going whoop, boom. Now it's going forward, so.
Well, we can't all be me. But if you'd like to fulfill your dreams like I did, then I have one piece of advice for you. Get to know me! A final testimonial from a man who speaks the truth.
Before I got to know
Don,
I was nothing, nowhere, a nobody. I was a 2-bit comic with an arrow stuck through my head.